Time now for this week's Goofy Award. Well, anyone who's paying attention to this show is going to notice the relentless attack on free speech on university campuses. I mean, so-called controversial speakers, people like Israeli Premier Netanyahu, Ann Coulter, Ayan Hirsi Ali, have all been prevented from speaking on university campuses. You got professors who don't adhere to the latest progressive dogma. They're targeted. As Stanford University Provost John Ashmendi stated earlier this month, outlining what he sees as the greatest threat to universities, said specifically, in quotes, intellectual intolerance, a political one-sidedness that is the antithesis of what universities should stand for. It manifests itself in many ways, in the intellectual monocultures that have taken over certain disciplines, in the demands to disinvite speakers and outlaw groups whose views we find offensive, and in constant calls for the university itself to take political stands. Well, that's the context for this week's Goofy, which goes to McGill University, who pressured well-respected academic, I'm just thinking this, Andrew Potter, to resign his post or be fired as director of McGill's Institute for Study of Canada. It's the Institute of Study of Canada at McGill, because of a contentious article he wrote for Maclean's magazine. The university issued a statement stating that Mr. Potter's views didn't reflect the university's views. Well, a Stanford provost said, a university's role does not include having views. Instead, should promote the exchange of ideas. It shouldn't make any difference if Mr. Potter's views are popular with the Quebec intelligentsia or McGill's donors or Quebec nationalists. Universities aren't there to promote a popularity contest, to promote a consensus view, or to avoid uncomfortable questions. But McGill has done just that. I mean, how can the actions at McGill not result in self-censorship among its faculties? Because they don't want to run afoul of the McGill Star Chamber. But this is another major flashing red light when it comes to freedom of thought, freedom of speech. It's a massive black mark on McGill University that I think casts a pall over universities throughout Canada. That's this week's Goofy Award.